Hello everyone, today is my day 3 of training. Now I will answer the assignment questions one by one. The first question is, what is the use of .pem file and why it is required? So .pem file is nothing but privacy enhanced mail files initially invented to make the email secure, and it is now everywhere used. PEM are a type of public key infrastructure file used for keys and to store SSL certificates. For example, if a client is sending a data to the server and the data is received by the server and the same is acknowledged by the server to the client. So in between this transaction, in between this communication, our data can be snipped, our data can be phishing. Phishing can be made and it is insecure. So in order to make this line secure, so PEM, that is privacy enhanced mail file, is used, and this PEM contains keys, these keys and configurations, which is having a text file contain one or more bytes of data, which is encoded in ASCII coding. So this is about .pem file. Now we shall see the next question. Why do we use Amazon S3 and why can't we store files in its static content on an EC2 instance? So first of all, we shall understand what is Amazon S3. Amazon S3 is nothing but it is a simple storage services program which is built to store data and also to protect the data and also to retrieve the data. So Amazon S3 having two components, that is buckets and objects. Objects are nothing but image files, video files or data which is stored inside a bucket. So this bucket will have an object, will have many objects. So use cases includes websites, mobile apps, archiving, data backups, IoT devices, etc. So we shall see the next sub question, that is, why can't we store files images on EC2 instance? So EC2 instance is nothing but it is also an Amazon service. So EC2 is stands for Elastic Complete Cloud. So when you store files, images, and static components like HTML, CSS server, hard disk gets full. And if you want to repurchase the hard disk and if you want to use more and more hard disk, the product cost will goes up. So in order to decrease the product cost and in order to overcome this cost issue, so we don't use EC2 instance for static contents or images files. So we shall see the next question. So what is non-relational databases and what is the major difference between relational databases and non-relational databases? So first we'll see what is non-relational databases. Non-relational databases are nothing but here we don't use tabular kind of data management. So here non-relational database is often called as NoSQL databases. They store data in non-tabular form. So non-relational databases might be based on data structures like documents, where documents contains many kinds of different kinds of information, or it will be having in a different formats. So the overall, conditioning of this information, which is stored in non-relational databases, is having the highest digestibility, and or it can organize various types of information side by side, and it makes more flexible than relational databases. So as I've said, non-relational databases can have key value database, can have column oriented database. It can have database of having document and also of having graph database. So which is nowadays are used to retrieve the video, images, etc. Now we shall see the relational database. Relational database are nothing but the traditional database where the data is stored in a table form, which is having rows and columns. So most modern system like MySQL, Server Oracle, Amazon uh, Red Hat system, those kinds of systems, they use the relational database. The main difference between non-relational database are when you are using for large databases, So when you are using for a complex and diverse data, which needs to be organized, which needs to be retrieved easily and within a specified time. So non-relational databases are the best choice. And when it comes to relational databases, they are for small for small organizations or small database documentations and less complex things. So this is the main difference between non-relational database and the relational databases. Non-relational databases are handled by the MongoDB, and relational databases are like SQL Server. They use the relational databases. Now we shall see the fourth question. How do we decide whether we should use relational database or not? No SQL database. That is non-relational database. So it is very difficult to choose between a non-relational database and a relational database because each company or each user or each customer clients will have a different specifications for different market and different velocity. So when it comes to non-relational databases, it supports complex transactions and it supports high velocity, supports big data, it supports data in very high volume, which arrive from many locations. So when it comes to relational databases, which handles only less velocity, low volume, and it can handle only from one to very few locations. So each customer should opt for the specific requirements. So nowadays, the most data architectures, the modern data architectures have both relational databases and non-relational databases. Because what they do is they split the storage duty in between these two, non-relational and relational databases. That's how this is where relational databases, that is relational databases versus NoSQL databases becomes NoSQL databases and relational databases. So this is how we can say that one has to choose between the relational databases and non-relational databases becomes very tougher. So this is all about today's training. Please review the video. Thank you.